Hey guys, this is Jason from Overhype Studios, and we are here with a short combat tutorial for Battle Brothers. And this video is aimed at people who haven't played the game yet or have trouble figuring things out. So I explain the combat basics and all the mechanics of it. So this is the combat map, and hex-based and randomly generated for each fight. On the left we have our mercenaries. You can see they always have this gray base, and the enemies in this scenario, it's bandits or brigands, and your guys will always look from left to right, and the enemies from right to left, and this way you can tell them apart. And even if in bigger battles, when later in the game where you have like 20-30 guys participating, you can easily see who's on which side. Okay, the map is only revealed so far as we can see, and when we keep moving up, it will reveal more of the map. So this is our guys, and I will quickly go through the UI elements in the combat. So on the left hand corner you have the combat log, and there will show the, for example, the damage you do to somebody. You can look up if you want more information on what's just happened. Then you have the number of allies, the turn number, and the number of enemies. And on the top right you can center the camera. You can move the height level of the camera. So by moving it down, I can cut off all the hills on the map. And with this option, we have one tree over here. We can make the trees look through, so you can look behind them. And this option is showing the armor and hit point bars of all combatants for better overview. We're going to switch that off for now. And besides that, you have the main option menu, and you can retreat from combat. And when retreating from combat, it's usually best to have your fighters at the edge of the map. There are tiles with a small white flag on them. And when your guys standing on that, when you retreat, nothing bad happens to them. And if they stay in combat or not on a tile with the flag, they will receive an injury. But you should always consider retreating when the enemy is too strong, or you realize you don't have a chance. It's always better to get out of there and get some injuries, and then regroup and attack again. So. On the lower left corner we have the character name and his most important combat statistics. We will look into that in more detail in a second. Then we have the turn order bar. So Giselher is currently his turn, and next up will be Erland. You can see this guy, and then one of the brigands is moving, and this way you can see who's next. And above that we have the skills of the current character. So Giselher is equipped with a pitchfork, so he can use the impale skill from the pitchfork and the repel, pushing somebody back. And he has bandages in his accessory slot, so he can bandage himself or another ally. And these usually determine, or they usually come from the equipment that you have. And that's where we're looking at next. So this is the paper doll. You know that from most RPGs. They have a similar thing with the body armor, head armor, main hand and offhand, and ammo slot, backpack, and this is the accessory slot. So with Giselher, he has a two-handed weapon. Both of his hands are used with a pitchfork. But if we look at Edmund, for example, he has a club in his main hand and his offhand a shield, increasing his defense. Below that we have the skills. I already talked about them. They come from the weapon and from his accessories, and there are some coming through perks. We're going to talk about those in a second. And below that you can see the character traits as his background, his current mood, and if you have any injuries or any other conditions, you can see that here. Let's take a look at Torheim, for example. He has more traits. He has eagle eyes, for example, and is dastard. So all the traits that affect his combat effectiveness you can see here. And let's quickly go through these. These are his head armor and body armor given by his equipment, his hit points, and then his action points. And every character has 9 action points. These are used for attacking, moving, and everything that you do in combat. Then you have the fatigue, and that is determines how many actions you can take. Every action you do will build up fatigue, like attacking and moving. And once your fatigue is completely filled up, you won't be able to do anything anymore. And the heavier your armor is, the lower your fatigue usually. So this is the morale. It will increase if you slay enemies on the field and decrease if your own guys get hit or if you get surrounded. I will show that in a minute. And if it breaks, the fighter can flee from battle. And then we have the resolve. This determines how easily his morale will change. So a higher resolve will make him more resilient to bad events on the battlefield. Then we have the initiative that determines the row of the movement order in the combat turn. And it also gets lower with heavier armor. So people with light armor will act first in combat. Then we have the melee skill. This is the most important stat for melee fighters. This determines how well you can hit an enemy. Accordingly is the range skill, for example for Erland. This determines how high his chance is to hitting an enemy with a ranged attack. And then we have the according defensive values, melee defense and range defense that gets subtracted. If somebody is shooting at you, your range defense will get subtracted. So especially for people in the back line, it's very good that, or for people who don't have a shield, to have a high range defense, of course. And then we have the damage, the effectiveness against armor, and the chance to hit the head for critical damage. Those are usually determined by the weapon. And then we have the sight range. The sight range is 7 for all characters usually, but for example, Torheim has eagle eyes, and so it's increased to 8. And some helmets, head armors reduce the vision range. So really heavy helmets will reduce your vision. So better not give those to your archers. Anyways, let's have a quick look at the perks. As I said before, we are all level 1, so there are no perks acquired. These will change how you fight in combat, but this video is about the combat basics, so I won't go into detail on these right now. So now we have our troop over here, and these are the enemies. They will try to attack us, and what we'll do is we're gonna use one of two options. You can either wait, and this will move you to the end of the turn order for this turn, or you can end your turn. Then you lose all your action points for this turn and have no more possibilities to act. What we want to do is we want the brigands to come closer a bit, and that's why we're going to wait, moving to the back of the line. And with Erland we will have a look, activate his shooting skill, so you can see his range, his white highlighted tile, so the enemies are not in range. So we're gonna wait a turn for them to close in, hopefully, and then we can shoot at them. One thing I can mention right now is the height levels. As I have shown before, there are 3 height levels in total. And the higher you are, the more your range increases for ranged weapons, and your vision range as well. So having your archers on the high ground is very good, but also for melee fighters is very good. If you're standing on the high ground and there's an enemy on the lower elevation, he will have a harder time hitting you, and you will have it easier to hit him. So in the game, having the high ground is always absolutely crucial for your success in combat. And that's what I will do with Erland. I will gonna move him over here and move him up 1 elevation level. And maybe next time I can move him on top of the hill, and then he will have a really great range and he can see very far. Now that I moved, you can see that the action points got reduced, 2 action points per tile, and his fatigue increased by 16. So moving 1 tile also increases your fatigue. For grass it's 4, but there are other environments like swamps where it's a lot more. So we're gonna wait. Next up is the brigand, who's gonna shoot at us. Hopefully we can dodge his shot. Unfortunately not. Eberhard the Younger got hit, and he also got an injury. But that's very good, because then I can explain the injury mechanic. So he not only lost hit points and armor, because arrows usually do some sort of direct damage, but he also received an injury. And this is a pierced leg muscle, and this injury will reduce his combat effectiveness, but also will stay after combat. So you will have to heal that out over a while on the world map. And injuring the enemies will reduce their combat effectiveness, so it's a very good thing. And you don't want that to happen to your own guys. Anyways, now it's Torhelm's turn, and he has a possibility with a bow to do a quick shot or an aimed shot. So this enemy is in range, we have a 34% chance to hit him. Or we can do an aimed shot, and we have 49, but the aim shot uses 8 action points, and the quick shot only 4, so we can shoot twice at him. Let's do that. 1, didn't hit. 34 is really low, so I didn't expect that much of it. Now the enemies are moving up, and now it's time for my melee fighters. As I really don't want Eberhard the Younger to move into melee right now, because he has no shield. He's very vulnerable. I will move up with Kunold, like so. And as I don't want him to get injured right away, I will use his shield wall. So shields give 2 abilities. That is a knockback and a shield wall. The shield wall is a defensive one. It greatly increases your defense for both melee and ranged. And you should always equip as many people as possible from your crew with shields, especially in the early game. And you should make use of the shield wall ability to avoid getting hit too much and receiving injuries. You see just with Eberhard what's happening when you don't have a shield with you. Anyways, I'm moving up, and there is a chance that this guy will get his morale reduced, because there's a mechanic that makes it so once you are getting into contact with multiple enemies, there's a chance that your morale will break. And this is to simulate like multiple people coming at you and threatening you, and this is a challenge for your morale to not run away. So I'm moving up over here as well, and moving up with Edmund. And once I have the ability to attack them, they will see that there's a surround bonus. So for every guy I have next to an enemy after the first, I will get an increased chance to hit. And that can be very handy, especially if your guys are not very able fighters. Then surrounding an enemy with a lot of people is a very good thing, as it will increase your chances greatly. I will just gonna move up one tile with him. So with Giselher, we have another special ability, and he has a pitchfork that has a range of 2 tiles. So we can attack over our own guys, and that's why we're going to move here. And next turn we will be able to attack these guys over range. So in the back line, having pike-like weapons is always a very good idea, because he's not at risk of getting hit, but he can still participate in combat. Also in forests when they have very dense environments. Now there's one very important thing about combat, and that is the concept of zone of control. You can see these red highlighted areas, and that is called the zone of control. And when you're moving into it, there's you can do that at any time. But if you want to move out of it, then the guy next to you will get a free attack, and if he hits, your movement will be stopped instantly. And also you cannot move within the zone of control without getting triggering free effects. Same goes for the enemy, or of course if somebody's fleeing, he will try to run from it, and if he gets hit, the enemy, he gets stopped. So there's basically free attacks for the enemy. And this is a very important concept, because you can stop archers from running by moving next to them, and they also cannot use their ranged weapons in close combat. So getting somebody into close combat with an archer, even without attacking him, is always a very good strategy. And the other way around, you have to take care of your archers that they don't get into a melee fight. So now we can shoot at the enemies. You can see a little red shields popping up, and that is a blocked line of sight, so a line of fire. And when we shoot at these guys, we can hit our own guys, and we really don't want that. But if we shoot at Hoggard, we have a really low chance to hit, but maybe the arrow goes off and hits one of these guys, so we're just gonna give it a try. Unfortunately, we just missed. Now it's the enemy's turn, they are attacking us. Shield wall is holding, you can see that the shield wall deflected a hit. And Hoggard is threatening my brother over here, and that's why his morale dropped. I just explained the mechanic of people moving into close combat and thus triggering morale effects. And here you can see the effect of the surround mechanic. It increases his chance to hit, but also he has height advantage that also increases his chance to hit. We're going to focus on this guy. Unfortunately, we missed it. And we are just attacking over here with Edmund and just going to focus fire on this brigand. Now, what shall we do with you? I think we're going to move up a little bit, or just going to wait with our archer. So now with Erland we're going to reload his crossbow, get ready to fire, but I don't want to shoot right now, and so I'm just going to move up one tile. And it's Winrich's turn. This thug is already injured a lot, so we're going to try and finish him. Now he received an injury, reducing his combat effectiveness, but we're going to try to kill him. Unfortunately, there's no morale loss triggered over here. So these two are still combat effective. We're going to put up our shield and still have enough action points and fatigue left for an attack. But what you can see is that already fatigue is building up quickly, so we have to really manage that and take care that we don't exhaust ourselves. That was a very good hit, doing a pierced cheek injury and a lot of damage to his hit points. And you can see in the combat log that his head is hit. So here you can see he is hit for 42 damage, he suffers a pierced cheek, and he is wavering, so his morale broke a little bit, which is all very good things. So now we're gonna move into the breach, and us moving up dropped his morale even further, so now he's really ineffective in combat. We're gonna move up Torhelm. And there's one thing that you have to know about the range combat, that you can shoot through your own guys if you're standing right behind them into the melee. So now you can see there are no more red shields over them, so I can easily shoot through here and kill the enemy. We're gonna wait with Giesel here. We're gonna see what Hogarth is about to do. So if we move up over here, maybe we have enough range to shoot at this bandit right here. Just gonna have a quick look. So this increases our range like so, but we are moving away one tile, and I think this should do. So because we moved up the hill, our range has increased, so we have a 43% chance of shooting at this poacher. That was a very good hit, we almost killed him. And now he's trying to escape. So now there's only Hogarth left. Our shield wall is still holding, and there you can see that you always should make use of defensive abilities. We're gonna move around with Edmund over here. Now the archer has 16% chance, that's not very high. Just gonna try it nevertheless. And now I'm gonna move in with Eberhard. I'm gonna show you another thing that's very important, especially in the early game, and that is the ability to break shields. A lot of weapons, especially axes, can do that, and the shield can be destroyed, discarded, and then it's completely gone. You can see it flying down there, and that reduced his defense massively, so now I can really attack him all out. Unfortunately, I hit his chainmail. Move up Giesel here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move Winrich over here, put up his shield, so he doesn't get attacked. Now making use of the 2-tile range. As I'm completely surrounding this guy, I have very high chance to actually hit him. So it's really handy. Reload the crossbow, and the enemy moved out of range, so all I can do is just moving up a little bit. He's still fighting, shooting into the combat, he didn't hit anyone. And I will focus all my attacks on Hogarth and try to bring him down. Even with the archer on close combat, I hit his hand, very nice, a good injury. 80% to hit, and he's down. So Winrich got a confident morale, increasing all his combat stats. It's very crucial to keep an eye on the morale. So if everybody is starting wavering, then their combat effectiveness goes down. And the other way around, if the enemy starts wavering, you can easily rout them and then completely cut them down. I'm moving up with my fighters. Now he's in range, but he's on the high ground, so I have very low chance to actually hit him. Trying nevertheless. Now the archers will usually try to escape once you are rushing at them. And it can be a very viable tactic to just cycle one guy around towards the enemy archers, and then you can threaten them and they will start running. So this guy is trying to retreat from combat, and we have now two options. It's over, then we return to the world map, or we can try to manually hunt him down, but we're gonna call it quits now. And I hope this tutorial helped you understand the combat basics of Battle Brothers. And you should definitely watch one of our Let's Play series for more info. And as a remembrance, you should always look at the tooltips if you are in doubt about anything, and usually you will find a solution there. Alright, thanks for watching and bye!